Here we are, Lou Martin, the amazing,
Ingrid.
Wonderful, absolutely astounding Lou Martin. Thank you for joining me on my page today, showing up,
Thank you.
spreading the love like wildfire.
Yes, we are. We're in love with love.
We are in love with life, in love with each other, in love with the freaking every person, every being, every situation. It's all love. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We got so much love there. Yes. Hey, before we do, we should do our thing. I ground, you pray, we launch. Yes? All right.
Right on.
I was mentioning to you earlier, I'm holding so much energy in my body, and I bet I'm not the only one. So if you're watching, let's ground in.
Yes.
Let's close our eyes. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe it'll feel warm or tingly, or you'll just be aware that it's happening. On your next inhale, take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra and exhale into your root chakra. All right, beautiful Lou, over to you.
Thank you, honey. That was gorgeous. Let's take another deep breath, everyone. So we come together as equals with gifts to give and receive. And these gifts right now include the reverence and respect and honoring of moments like this when we focus our hearts on love. Whatever words or ideas we've had about this, we want to surrender to the experience and the exploration of this as innocence once again, and discover that there is something new for us here, something fresh and exciting and never before created. This moment has never happened before, will never happen again. And we're celebrating that love is here in us, through us, and with us. We bless our family and friends. We bless our clients and students and our colleagues on this path. We bless our teachers. And we declare and decree that it's all for love. We love you. We give thanks. We let it be. And so it is.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
So much. That feels really good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Lou, can you talk about the astrology that's going on a little bit while I share this out?
Sure. Happy to do it. Yeah. So I was mentioning that we're coming up to Mars retrograde in Aries, which is fire, 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 my friends. And who's along for the ride? Our old buddy Chiron, the wounded healer. And so Mars, which is masculine energy, will, assertiveness, aggression, in retrograde, we're going to turn that inward. And we're going to either process it and work with it and surrender to it and heal it, or we're going to be very frustrated and very demanding and very impatient with ourselves and each other. And then throw Chiron in there. And of course, Aries is the ram, and he wants to get to the top of the mountain, and he's got a will of iron to do that. So you got all that going on, fire, fire, as they say, and the will. And then Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron's saying, wait a minute, big boy, maybe you don't know everything. And maybe you need to learn some things. And maybe you want to slow down occasionally. And it's not all about everyone else. It's not about pointing the finger and blaming and screaming in people's faces. And we know there's plenty of that going on in the world at the moment.
There's a bit.
Less, yeah. It's about the cleaning our own side of the glass, looking in our own heart. So love, as we were saying here, we're going to get into this. Ingrid and I were chatting before we got on. But love, of course, is what it's all about. The lesson is always love. It's, can we surrender to that? Can we love ourselves more? Can we let spirit, God, source, whatever name we like, be more real than the illusions of chaos and confusion and uncertainty about this, that, and the other? And can we treat each other with love and respect, even when we disagree? Can we let go of hate and fear and judgment and blame and come from a place of compassion and mercy and tolerance and understanding?
Yes, please, and thank you. The other thing I want to say about the the astrology with Aries. Hey, Connie, love. Good morning, beautiful duo. Oh, I feel like we have a little name for us, beautiful duo. I like it. So it's also where Mars is transiting in your own natal chart. That can be helpful because Mars and Aries, that's a fire. For me, it's transiting my Sun and Venus. It's going to go over my Sun and Venus and natal. There's a Eros Asteroid. Are you familiar with that one?
Right. Yes.
That's from somewhere near my Sun in my natal chart as well. She's like the female Mars. So looking at where this transits in your natal chart will give you a good, will help you navigate some of the intensity as it's going to show up for you. So where's your Aries, Lou?
I couldn't tell you. I'm just looking for my chart here. We just repaired. I usually put my chart into my stairs, and we just repaired my stairs, so everything's going to pile somewhere here.
Oh, okay. So look at you. If you can go to like Cafe Astrology and you can generate a free chart report, and if you can't read the wheel, that's okay. You can see the where your Aries is, like what house and what planets might be in Aries. And then you can see what Mars is going to go over during its, transit for the next 6 months. It's going to go forward and backwards. So it's hanging out for a while. And then that will help, like for me, Sun and Venus. So Mars and Aries is going to be affecting my ego, my Sun, and my Venus, my passion, what I love. So there's going to be some stuff coming up, and that's okay. But knowing that and understanding that about your own chart and the transit in your own chart will be really helpful when something does erupt, when you get triggered, when you start to feel all fiery and warrior-like and indignant, because you will. Look at what area of your life. And in my 10th house, that's my reputation and my career. So look at what area that is. It's also a really powerful time for just, initiating new projects, getting things done, boosting your confidence. I mean, there's really good stuff happening too. And with Chiron, Chiron is the wounded healer, but let's focus on the healer part for a minute. The wounded healer is where your gift is for the world, is how you are of divine service. Our traumas and our wounds, that's part of our spiritual tool set. That's our spiritual superpower. With Mars and Aries, transiting Chiron and Aries, what an opportunity to unveil some stuff. Aries is that instigator, that pioneer, the very first step. Boy, we can do some massive, powerful uncovering of our own spiritual gifts and how we show up in the world to be of service to others. It's a powerful time. Everything about this time is powerful.
Sure, that's absolutely right. Do you know about Cheroklo?
No, tell me about Cheroklo.
Oh, well, that's a rare day when I have something astrological to teach you, my friend. Bless you.
Tell me. I don't consider myself an astrologer.
Yeah. So you're brilliant. So Cheroklo is the female. She's the wife of Chiron.
Oh.
Yes.
Now.
Yes. And so Chiron, of course, the wound gets healed. It repeats. It gets healed. It repeats. It gets healed. On and on. It's like Prometheus. The eagle picking at his liver forever for punishing him for giving mankind fire. So Sheriklo is the one who holds the space for him to go through all that. You know.
Oh wow.
Yes. She's like the like you're saying. I mean, that's what triggered me. The Divine Mother, who allows all things and knows that all of it has a purpose, and there's a healing that is happening in the midst of all this pain and suffering and drama and trauma and strum and drang and all the rest of it. And she's just going, it's okay. We'll get through it. It's going to be fine.
Beautiful. That's a perfect launching pad to, I think, what we talked about, what we want to talk about today. Yeah.
That's my service.
Yes.
That's my service.
Grab hold of that there. So, with Mars and Aries and Chiron and the upsets that are happening, that I think all of us have been seeing out in the world. I was at Safeway. I was at the store a few days ago, and I saw two people get into a cussing match over wearing masks. Like it was a mask wearer and a non-mask wearer, and the mask wearer like took off their mask and followed this person around, started breathing on her, and they started cussing at each other. And like, it was just like, wow, this is not a hill to die on, guys. Oh my Lord. Wear a mask, but like calm down. But that's that kind of energy that has the potential to ignite very quickly. But the thing to remember is, we're in a time of extraordinary chaos. But the reason we're experiencing and seeing this extraordinary chaos is because the truth is we have popped into a new paradigm of love. This is the new earth. This is the golden age. And all of the intensity and the chaos that you're seeing is a shaking off, a sloughing off of all energies that do not match this new paradigm of love and equality and appreciation and lifting up, of brotherhood and sisterhood. This is about community lifting each other up. And it's going to take some time to slough off those energies that are not a match, that we're so used to, so accustomed to in the before time, which is about before spring solstice. That's when I felt the energies shift radically. So if what we want to talk about today is how to stay in love, how to dive underneath the chaotic energies, which is only the surface stuff, to reach through the chaos, grab hold of that love and hold that love in your heart and bring that out into the world. Connie just commented, she was attacked by a friend of 25 years for wearing a mask. Yeah, it's a lot right now. And here's the thing, and I know this is easier said than done. I absolutely get it. It's not personal. It's not personal. People are going through it, and the less healed and in alignment with divine and their own authenticity that somebody is, the more extreme their response is going to be to those chaotic energies that are here to shake it off. I keep having meditations and dreams about earthquakes, like this constant shaking is happening. That's what's happening energetically. We're shaking. It's like shaking dirt clods off of the earth, like boom, boom, boom. It's all got to go away. So,
those are coming too, by the way.
What?
Earthquakes are coming too. Earthquakes are coming too.
I thought that would be literal as well.
Just raise the ante in case it wasn't interesting enough, as we say.
Coming,
One second. But it is, you're saying, sweetheart, it's so that we can let go of our fear and our unconscious separation, so we can open up and be loved and be healed and care for each other and care for ourselves.
Yes. And the more that we keep, what I got so strongly, and this is going to be reiterated in our chats as well, we have some things to share, is the most important thing we can do right now is maintain our connection to divine spirit, to the Holy Spirit, to love. Our spiritual practice is paramount right now. Those of us who maintain our connection to spirit and prioritize our connection to our inner being, to our higher self, to source, to universe, I don't care what container you use for it, whatever that is that you're connecting to, that has to be number one, numero uno priority. Everything else is a far cry below that. If we maintain that connection to source, to spirit, we're going to be fine. We're the ones here to usher in this new age. We're not going to be harmed. You're going to be placed where you be placed for your safety, for your security, for your love, for your connection. And you're going to be placed in front of the people who need you, the people who need to hear this message through your filter. So showing up in faith with your spiritual practice, and my practice, my prayer every day is place me where you need me, God. Just take
it is. That's it. Same here. That's it.
I'm done trying to make things happen.
Yeah.
Like, tell me where to go.
I'm not in the way. I'm not in the way. I'm fully cooperative. I'm totally surrendered. Yeah. That is the peace of mind. Absolutely. I'm open to receive. I'm open to give. Use me, show me, lead me. Where would you have me go? What would you have me say? What would you have me do?
Yes.
Anything that empties us, yes, you can feel it. There's relief there. Anything that empties us, having to figure it out, is a relief.
Yeah, the mind really has no place here. The mind has no place here right now. We've got to just drop into the heart and show up. And if you're listening, you're gravitating towards this video, towards this broadcast with me and Lou. It's you too. You're here to help usher in this new paradigm. You have to.
My yes. No accidents.
No accidents there. And you and I are not the first ones to talk about this. We were just chatting on our little before chat. Lou and I like to get on and jam a little bit, just me and him. But we have a couple of prophecies to share. I have one that a dear friend of mine shared earlier. That's a 70-year-old prophecy that blew my mind open this morning. It's amazing that I want to share with you guys. And you have one that you want to share from how long ago?
This is the Hopi Bluestar prophecy. So it's longer than 70 years ago. It's ancient.
So we've been, certain individuals have been getting this download for centuries, maybe even thousands of years. I mean, this is stuff that's talked about in the Bible as well. What we are experiencing is the apocalypse, but it's not the apocalypse in the way the fire brimstone that we necessarily think of it in modern culture. The apocalypse is, what is the root cause of the apocalypse? It's something like enlightenment, isn't it? Or awakening?
Well, it's revealing. It's revealing, basically. Yeah.
It's all peeled away. This is the most exciting time to be alive. This is it, folks. If you are born and alive at this point, this is your destiny. This is your purpose. Your purpose, the reason you were born, is to show up in this time and help cement in this new earth, these new energies, this new age. It's an amazing time to be alive. It's also a little intense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're just getting warmed up.
We're just getting warmed up. Yeah, baby. So why don't I
go ahead.
Shambo for who shares who's first.
You're all wound up.
I'm all wound up. Yeah, look at me. Well, Mark's moving over my son.
You're ready to go. Let rip.
Okay. Let me pull it up. I'm almost there.
Honey, that's fine.
I'm going there. Okay. So
take a breath.
Here, this is originally shared by a woman named Pauline T. Hansen. I don't know her. It was reshared by my friend Shay. So the Pauline writes this. A 70-year-old prophecy, the earth will soon be swept by extraordinary rapid waves of cosmic electricity. This prophecy was written 70 years ago, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. Peter Konstantinov Dionov, also known as Biensa Duono, I'm sorry, it's Russian. I can't do Russian. Born in 1886 and who later passed away in 1944, left a prophecy that he had obtained through a trance-based state. The prophecy was therefore dated as 1944, a few days before his death in December of that year. Okay, let's get down to the prophecy. During the passage of time, the consciousness of man traversed a very long period of obscurity. This phase, which the Hindus call Kali Yuga, is on the verge of ending. We find ourselves today at the frontier between two epochs, that of Kali Yuga and that of the new era that we are entering. A gradual improvement is already occurring in the thoughts, sentiments, and acts of humans, but everybody will soon be subjugated to the divine fire that will purify and prepare them in regards to the new era. Thus, man will raise himself to a superior degree of consciousness, indispensable to his entrance to the new life. This is what one understands by ascension. Some decades will pass before this fire will come, that will transform the world by bringing it a new morale. This immense wave comes from cosmic space and will inundate the entire earth. All those that attempt to oppose it will be carried off and transferred elsewhere. Although the inhabitants of this planet do not all find themselves at the same degree of evolution, the new wave will be felt by each one of us. And this transformation will not only touch the Earth, but the ensemble of the entire cosmos. The best and only thing that man can do now is to turn toward God and improve himself consciously to elevate his vibratory level so as to find himself in harmony with the powerful wave that will soon submerge him. The fire of which I speak, that accompanies the new conditions offered to our planet, will rejuvenate, purify, reconstruct everything. The matter will be refined. Your hearts will be liberated from anguish, troubles, incertitude, and they will become luminous. Everything will be improved, elevated. The thoughts, sentiments, the negative acts will be consumed and destroyed. Your present life is a slavery, a heavy prison. Understand your situation and liberate yourself from it. I tell you this, exit from your prison. It is really sorry to see so much misleading, so much suffering, so much incapacity to understand what one's true happiness lies. Everything that is around you will soon collapse and disappear. Nothing will be left of this civilization, nor its perversity. The entire earth will be shaken, and no trace will be left of this erroneous culture that maintains men under the yoke of ignorance. Earthquakes are not only mechanical phenomena. Their goal is also to awaken the intellect and the heart of humans so that they liberate themselves from their errors and their follies, and that they understand that they are not the only ones in the universe. Our solar system is now traversing a region of the cosmos where a constellation that was destroyed left its mark, its dust. This crossing of a contaminated space is a source of poisoning, not only for the inhabitants of the Earth, but for all the inhabitants of other planets of our galaxy. Only the suns are not affected by the influence of this hostile environment. This region is called the 13th zone. One also calls it the zone of contradictions. Our planet was enclosed in this region for thousands of years, but finally we are approaching the exit of this space of darkness, and we are on the point of attaining a more spiritual region where more evolved beings live. The Earth is now following an ascending movement that everyone should force themselves to harmonize with the currents of the ascension. Those who refuse to subjugate themselves to this orientation will lose the advantage of good conditions that are offered in the future to elevate themselves. They will remain behind in evolution and must wait tens of millions of years for the coming of a new ascending wave. The Earth, the solar system, the universe, all are being put in a new direction under the impulsion of love. Most of you will consider love as a derisory force, but in reality, it is the greatest of all forces. Money and power continue to be venerated as if the course of your life depended upon it. In the future, all will be subjugated to love and all will serve it. But it is through suffering and difficulties that the consciousness of man will be awakened. The terrible predictions of the prophet Daniel written in the Bible relate to the epoch that is opening. There will be floods, hurricanes, gigantic fires, and earthquakes that will sweep away everything. Blood will flow in abundance. There will be revolutions. Terrible explosions will resound in numerous regions of the earth. There where there is earth, water will come, and there where is water, earth will come. God is love, yet we are dealing here with a chastisement, a reply by nature against the crimes perpetrated by man since the night of time against his mother, the earth. After these sufferings, those that will be saved, the elite, will know the golden age, harmony and unlimited beauty. Thus keep your peace and your faith when the time comes for suffering and terror, because it is written that not a hair will fall from the head of the just. Don't be discouraged. Simply follow your work of personal perfection. You have no idea of the grandiose future that awaits you. A new earth will soon see day. In a few decades, the work will be less exacting, and each one will have the time to consecrate spiritual, intellectual, and artistic activities. The question of rapport between man and woman will be finally resolved in harmony, each one having the possibility of following their aspirations. The relations of couples will be found on reciprocal respect and esteem. Humans will voyage through the different planes of space and break through intergalactic space. They will study their functioning and will rapidly be able to know the divine world to fusion with the head of the universe. The new era is that of the sixth race. Your predestination is to prepare yourself for it, to welcome it and live it. The sixth race will build itself around the idea of fraternity. There will be no more conflicts of personal interests. The single aspirations of each one will be to conform himself to the law of love. The sixth race will be that of love. A new continent will be formed for it. It will emerge from the Pacific so that the Most High can finally establish his place on this planet. The founders of this new civilization, I call them brothers of humanity, or also children of love. They will be unshakable for the good, and they will represent a new type of men. Men will form a family as a large body, and each people will represent an organ in this body. In the new race, love will manifest in such a perfect manner that today's man can only have a very vague idea. The earth will remain a terrain favorable to struggle, but the forces of darkness will retreat, and the earth will be liberated from them. Humans, seeing that there is no other path, will engage themselves to the path of the new life, that of salvation. In their senseless pride, some will, to the end, hope to continue on earth a life that the divine order condemns, but each one will finish by understanding that the direction of the world doesn't belong to them. A new culture will see the light of day. It will rest on three principal foundations: the elevation of woman, the elevation of the meek and humble, and the protection of the rights of man. The light, the good, the justice will triumph. It is just a question of time. The religions will be purified. Each contains a particle of the teaching of the masters of light, but obscured by the incessant supply of human deviation. All the believers will have to unite and put themselves in agreement with one principle, that of placing love as the base of all belief, whatever it may be. Love and fraternity, that is the common base. The earth will soon be swept by extraordinary rapid waves of cosmic electricity. A few decades from now, beings who are bad and lead others astray will not be able to support their intensity. They will be absorbed by cosmic fire that will consume the bad that they possess. Then they will repent, because it is written that each flesh shall glorify God. Our mother, the earth, will get rid of men that don't accept the new life. She will reject them like damaged fruit. They will soon not be able to reincarnate on this planet, criminals included. Only those that possess love in them will remain. There is not any place on earth that is not dirtied with human or animal blood. She must therefore submit to a purification. It is for this that certain continents will be immersed while others will surface. Men do not suspect that what dangers they are menaced by. They continue to pursue futile objectives and to seek pleasure. On the contrary, those of the sixth race will be conscious of the dignity of their role and respectful of each one's liberty. They will nourish themselves exclusively from products of the vegetal realm. Their ideas will have the power to circulate freely as the air and light of our days. The words, if you are not born again, apply to the sixth race. After the tribulations, men will cease to sin and will find again the path of virtue. The climate of our planet will be moderated everywhere, and brutal variations will no longer exist. The air will once again become pure, the same for water. The parasites will disappear. Men will remember that their previous incarnations, and they will feel the pleasure of noticing that they are finally liberated from their previous condition. In the same manner that one gets rid of parasites, the dead leaves on the vine, so act the evolved beings to prepare men to serve the God of love. They give them good conditions and grow and develop themselves. And to those that want to listen to them, they say, do not be afraid. Still a little more time and everything will be all right. You are on the good path. May he that wants the entire in the new culture study consciously work and prepare. Thanks to the idea of fraternity, the earth will become a blessed place, and that will not wait. But before, great suffering will be sent to awaken the consciousness. Sins accumulated for thousands of years must be redeemed. The ardent wave emanating from on high will contribute to liquidating the karma of peoples. The liberation can no longer be postponed. Humanity will prepare itself for great trials that are inescapable and are coming to bring an end to egoism. Under the earth, something extraordinary is preparing itself. A revolution that is grandiose and completely inconceivable will manifest itself soon in nature. God has decided to redress the earth, and he will do it. It is the end of an epoch. A new order will substitute the old, an order in which love will reign on earth. That was kind of long, wasn't it?
Well, honey, that was not just long, it was profound. It was really, really brilliant, really, really deep, really unshakable, unarguable.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really is. It's exactly what I received on the spring solstice. I woke up and I wrote down notes. It wasn't what I received wasn't as detailed as what I just read here, but that energy, that sentiment, all of that, I got that. And to hear that, for that to be echoed today, this morning, as we're talking about this and talking about this new earth, feels really powerful, and the timing feels amazing.
Yeah, it does. It feels perfect. Excuse me, I'll read you the one that I have, but let me just say also, I listened last night to Paul Selig, and some of his channeling is just a short one. It's on my page. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they were asking, so the last question there, two questions. One was, what is the future of civilization? And his guides put it this way. They said, you're living in a time when all things must be made new again.
Mm-hmm.
And whether this happens with grace and dignity or otherwise is entirely up to each person.
Beautiful.
So that's the invitation is, as you said, we have to get very honest with ourselves and very real with ourselves and very, very devoted and connected to God and God's will in our life to the very best of our ability every day. Because like yourself, it's, the year began and we've had these three crises of consciousness, the virus, the lockdown. You could throw the economy in there as the fourth, and then all the civil unrest from Black Lives Matter and how that manifested throughout the world about injustice and racism and inequality and all of that.
Yeah.
And so there's really four, let's say. And now this is like the pause in between, the next wave of intense energy. And I know things are still quite intense in the States. But yeah, I have the same feeling, Ingrid, that, they're intense even if physically things are easier as they are here in Ireland, people still have a sense of impending confrontation or chaos or confusion, because the future's not all bright and rosy like it once was 6 months ago, let's say.
Right. Well, I mean, it is actually. The future is extremely bright and rosy. The pathway there is a little bumpy.
Yes. Long term, yes. The short term, no.
Yeah. Every time I feel into sort of these chaotic energies, I get 5 years. I get 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. So I feel like the next 5 years are going to be particularly intense and do a lot to take away the stuff that's not a match for love. So but after that is going to start to level out. But the thing to remember about timing as well is it's really up to us. It's up to us to show up and do our work with divine spirit to connect and to cement in this new earth. It's coming. It's here. The time it takes for us to start living in love and getting and sloughing off what's not a match depends entirely on us.
That's right. That's right.
50 years. It's up to us. So you and I have to be so committed to our work. Everybody listening here, if you're drawn to us, you have to be so committed to your work. What you do to cement in this new earth is not out there. It's in here.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Do your work, ask to be placed where you need to be placed, and we will get through this much more quickly. We will get to the experience of love, and only love much more quickly. Yeah,
that's right. How good can we stand it is the question for my
guy. How much better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And I mean, Abraham, who's one of my favorites, who says the basis of life is freedom. The purpose of life is joy. If you don't have joy, you have very little to offer the world. And so, it is this polarization as we're talking about where, and as you say, people that have done no inner work or haven't had that awareness that it was necessary, now suddenly it's forced on everyone. And that is uncomfortable.
That's where I feel like we can have compassion for people who are acting out, because
Absolutely.
Those of us who have shown up and voluntarily done the work and sat in the discomfort and allowed ourselves to be purified over the course of many years now leading up to the time, people who have not, it's by fire, man. They are getting shoved off the cliff and having to grow their wings, and it's terrifying. And all the feelings are coming up, all the stuck energy, everything that they've been holding on to, all the traumas, all the pain, everything is erupting out of them. And they really don't have a lot of control over what's happening. Those of us who have done the work have the ability now to hold tremendously powerful space for people to do that transformative flip that they're really being forced to do now in order to survive into this new paradigm. This is survival for them. So let's commit here. I'd like to see us healer types commit to holding space and having compassion for people who are really going through it, and do our best not to take it personally, to send love, to hold the love, hold the space of love. I know it's easier said than done, and it's really easy to get caught up in the story. It's really easy to get caught up in the surface drama and trauma. But we have the ability to dive underneath the story, dive underneath the form, and hold space for the ever flow of love that is just coursing through this planet, coursing through the cosmos. Because it's not just our planet. This is radiating out into the universe. This is an incredible time to be alive.
Yeah. Absolutely. The law of one, and Ra talks about the harvest. And says, this is what it is. It's souls being either brought into the light or cast into the darkness, depending on our own free will.
Yeah.
What we believe, what we're open to, what we're willing to take responsibility for and heal, and what we deny and continue to try to project into the unconscious and onto each other.
Yes.
And it's in a rapid acceleration right now, like nothing we've ever experienced. Well, here's my one.
Yeah,
I'll give you one. This is from Lori Bradford Miles, and who I'm not familiar with, but this just jumped out at me in the last day or so. And this was posted on April 22nd. And this is called About the Hopi Bluestar Prophecy. An ancient Hopi Native American prophecy says when the Bluestar Kachina, a Kachina is an angel or being of light. The Kachina doll is a doll of the angel, of the ETs. It's a spirit doll, I think. When the Bluestar Kachina makes its appearance in the heavens, the fifth world will emerge. This will be the day of purification. The Bluestar appeared above China on October 11th, 2019. The ancient Hopi prophecy of the Bluestar says that the purification of humanity will start in China in a race that first revealed the light. After the Bluestar makes its appearance for some time, there will be no more ceremonies around the world. Particles in the air and ether will cause a disease that no medicine can cure. The appearance of the Bluestar is the last sign before the fifth world emerges. The fourth world shall end soon because of the corruption of humanity and abuse of Mother Nature. Those who are at peace in their hearts already are in the great shelter of life. The Great Spirit returns after the time of purification and life becomes again everlasting. And this is the last paragraph. The Hopi tribe, as well as Tibetan Buddhists, share the same thousands-of-year-old prophecy about the Bluestar. They have been waiting for this time of the great turning for millennia, as we were saying earlier, and have been performing ceremonies, wearing masks. They say when the fifth world emerges, the masks will be removed during a dance before uninitiated children of the general public. And that is that, my friend.
Wow. It's so literal.
Yes. So it's like you're saying, I mean, this is the message of all the indigenous cultures.
Yes.
They have been holding this sacred space for modern man and Western consciousness and all of that, in preparation for this time of purification and healing.
Yeah.
And the phrase from my guides is a time of awakening, healing, and growth. And like you've said, love helps us to grow. It helps us to make meaning of tragedy and trauma and pain and fear and loss and struggle. And it helps us to see the light in the darkness, and it helps to find the path, where there is no path, and to find the answer where there is no answer, and all of that. The phrase that Lazarus said to myself and all the students of Lazarus over the last 33 years is, you are the magicians of the current and the coming age. You're the map makers. And, it is, as it's challenging, but our work and our joy, our happiness, our peace, our abundance, our love, our freedom, our success, our impact on the world comes from surrendering every day, every chance we get, every time we see our stuff. It's like, there's my stuff again.
And we're going in. And it's about moving ourselves every single day from fear to love, from and none of us are exempt from that work. We must every day move from fear to love. And it is such a powerful time to be alive. And I am so grateful. And I'm so grateful to you, Lou. And I'm so grateful to everyone who jumped on here. You've been sharing your comments and your thoughts and your feelings. And it is so incredible. I see us as those of us born in this time, we are the bridge.
Yeah.
We are the bridge to the new earth. We are, here's one cliff. Here's the other side of the cliff. There's a ravine in the middle. We are laying ourselves over that ravine so that those who come after us can walk in, take us to the new earth. This is really about the children, is what it's really about. We are the bridge. The children are going to be moving us into the new paradigm, into this new golden age.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's well said. That's beautifully said. And of course, you're a mom, and you know that as well as anyone on the planet. You know, this is a big part of Patricia Cota-Robles' focus with her work over the last few years, talking about, you know, there are the indigos and the crystals and the rainbows, I think are the three generations that have been born over the last 30 years, let's say. And she says the youngest ones are literally from, you know, have been trained in the great central sun, you know, to bring these codes, to bring these answers, to bring these ideas, to bring these energies, you know, onto the world when, you know, we're ready for it. And this is, as you say, our work is to help people understand there is a choice to make. And the choice is everything. And you cannot avoid making this choice. We have to decide every day, what do we believe, how deeply, and is it our truth in this moment now? And will we then live from that or not? You know, will we pretend to be something that isn't true and hope for the best? Or will we face the truth and surrender to it and come out the other side better for the experience?
Yeah, I tell you nothing. I tell you, baby, nothing but authenticity is going to fly anymore.
Right, right.
If you live outside of the truth, outside of your truth, your authentic truth, you will suffer. If you live inside of your truth, no matter how uncomfortable, you will bloom.
That's right. That's right. Because honoring our truth is honoring the way God made us. And that is the initiation.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the initiation, to honor God in our own hearts and to live that and to shine that light into the world.
Yeah. Oh, Lou.
Fun.
I'm feeling so and I'm feeling so maxed out at the same time.
Well, it's a lot, sweetheart. You really, with that prophecy and the one I read, but especially your one, you know, that's heavy medicine. That's given everyone something to sit with and to process and to think about for the rest of this life as we go through these days, weeks, and months ahead, where everything is so confusing and so unknown and uncertain. We have to find that clarity in our own heart and then ask God to guide us to bring that clarity into our lives.
Yes. It's all about, I mean, to summarize what we're talking about today.
Wrap it up.
So, because I'm done. Woo, and then I'd love you to give us a closing prayer to set an intention to bring it out.
Sure. Love to.
Energy. But, you know, to summarize it, show up, surrender, give it to God, open yourself up to God. God, place me where you need me. And what we need to do, the only thing we need to do is show up and work on our connection to the divine. As Abraham says, get into alignment, make alignment your number one priority, alignment with the divine spirit, and then open up to be placed where we need to be placed for ourselves and for others. And we will be placed in front of those who need to hear our message, who need our medicine, or the medicine as it comes through. Can't really see that, babe. You're a little blurry. Can you tell us what it is?
New love.
New love.
Today's card. Yes.
Love. Beautiful.
Yes. As Abraham says, you can ask any question because we only have one answer. And you just said it beautifully, which is get into alignment or get lost, basically. Yeah. You know, get into alignment or get out of the way.
Yeah. Baby.
That's it.
Where people can find you.
Sure, sweetheart. Thank you.
Don't know you.
Yeah. So my home base is Facebook, and my homepage is Lightheart 2012 or Lou Martin. And then there's also the Awakened Spirits Network, where I do interviews. I will publish this there when I can in the next few days. And I upload all the interviews that I've done with the other great teachers, aside from lovely Ingrid. And then you can hop onto Awakened Spirits Network on Facebook and ask to join that. And I've got groups and classes, and I'm doing drop-ins on Zoom twice a day now, and that's fun as well. So many ways to reach me.
Gorgeous. Yes. Well, and you all are on my page here, the Ingrid H. Turner page. I'm here. Join me anytime. I try and go live a lot, although to be honest, sometimes energetically I get sideswiped, and I just figure you're going to forgive me if I fall off the wagon a little bit. But thrilled to be here with you, Lou. Lou and I do every Thursday, and we switch off every week. So this week is on my page. Yeah. Next week will be on his page, and we just, go back and forth like that. You can also see my personal website, which is ingridhturner.com. INGRADHTURNER. And then I also run an organization, a school, if you will, for people who feel committed to show up and share their spiritual message and share their spiritual gifts with the world. That's called the Bhava Spiritual Mission, BHAVA. And that's bhavamission.org. And if you want to know more about that and more about that community, we have opened up membership. And I'd love to have a conversation with you about it if it's something. I mean, we're really looking for people who feel called to do this work, who feel like this is what I'm here to do. And Lou and I have had the pleasure of running groups together under the umbrella of that organization. It's an incredible community that I cannot recommend enough.
Amen to that. Proud to be a part of it. Brilliant.
Yeah. I
All
need
right.
to pull up because I got to go ground myself and get into the woods, man.
Okay. We're going to pray out. Thank you. Love you, sweetheart. Thank you.
Love you. And thank you, everybody, for jumping on and leaving your comments and sharing with us. This has been so, so great. So, yeah, Lou, close this out with a prayer, baby. Let's do this.
Sure thing. Thank you. All right, everyone, go ahead and close your eyes, turn within, and take a deep breath. Okay. Father, Mother God, indwelling Holy Presence, purification is in our hearts at this moment. So we ask for everything and anything that has hindered, limited, or held us back to be seen, acknowledged, and released at some level of our consciousness in the perfect time and the perfect way, so that we truly can step forth into the love and light of all that is as an angel of this world and be of joyous service to you in this powerful time of awakening, healing, and growth. Ingrid and I bless each other, ourselves, and our lives and our soul's purpose, and we are grateful for moments like this. We bless everyone whose soul is also on this higher calling. Father, Mother God, let us be the angels that fly above this world, the winged ones, the doves of peace and the eagles of vision and great courage and great wisdom and great humor. And let us be examples for others to know there is a meaning for all of it. Life is good. We love life and we celebrate it. We give thanks for all the blessings of these powerful times and these great messages. Thank you for the messengers. And thank you for the place in our hearts to hear the truth that sets us free. We let it be, and so it is. And together we say, Amen, Amen, Amen.
Amen, Amen. Awesome. Drink water, folks. Ground yourselves. Join ranks. Let's do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you so much, Ingrid.
Blessings.
All my love. All right, sweetheart. Bye for now.
Bye for now.